Hey everybody, making another video. I'm having a bit of a rest on the sofa. The chemo's taking its toll at the moment. I've had a bit of a busy day and now I've shut down a bit. Got candles, green tea, blankets and I've had an idea in my head all day for a video and I've managed to keep it in my head, which is good. And I thought, okay, let's make this video. So we're coming back to narcissists again, narcissistic personality disorder, if I can say it, and narcissistic abuse. And the title of this video will be the 3 things you need to be aware of every time you respond to a narcissist, or every time you react to a narcissist, because it's probably the same thing. So 3 things you need to be aware. I'll be making lots more videos about this and maybe a bit more detail as well, but you need to be aware that, so this is whether you are in a relationship with a narcissist, whether you are married to a narcissist, whether you are coming out of a relationship with a narcissist, or whether you have ended a relationship with a narcissist and they are still contacting you and you are still contacting them. It will also be relevant if you have gone no contact with a narcissist. So if you have cut off contact, you've cut off every means of communication. I'll be doing more videos about going no contact, and if you just browse on YouTube, there are many excellent videos about going no contact. There's plenty of other videos. I've been watching lots of videos as well. But coming back to the 3 things you need to be aware of, okay? Regardless of your relationship with the narcissist, regardless of whether you are in a romantic relationship, or have just ended one, are trying to separate yourself from a narcissist and are finding it very hard, whether it's a friend who has narcissistic traits or personality disorder, whether it's a family member, it's kind of irrelevant really. It's all the same tactics and the same abuse and the same results. Okay. The 3 results you're going to get from any kind of response to a narcissist. Okay. Any attention you give them feeds them supply. Any attention you give them feeds them supply. Narcissists need narcissistic supply. It's like oxygen to them. There are plenty of other videos about this. Any attention feeds them like oxygen. They crave it, they need it, they will do anything to get it. Okay, good or bad. Now, the kinds of attention that feed their need for supply are any types of attention. You need to be aware of this, okay? Whether you argue with them, whether you try to reason with them, whether you try to be logical, whether you break down and burst into tears, whether you tell them how much they're upsetting you, how much they're hurting you, whether you get angry at them, whether you storm off, whether you kick something, whether you scream at them, whatever that reaction is, whatever that response, whether it's face-to-face, by email, by text, it is irrelevant. You will be feeding them their supply. You need to be aware of this. It's very important. Good or bad attention from you feeds their supply. It's why they'll switch tactics to get any means of attention. It's why their behaviour is so confusing and so haphazard and illogical and confusing. Okay? It's why they can, in the blink of an eye, switch from telling you how much they love you, listing all your amazing perfect traits, which funnily enough they may have never have said to you whilst in the relationship. And then if you deny that, defy that, ignore that, they can then switch to abuse, insults, fear-mongering, breaking you down, basically destroying you, devaluing you. Okay, it's why they can switch from this to that, to this to that, to begging you to come back, abuse, and then begging again, and then just ridiculous things like going through your friends, saying things to your friends that they know will get back to you, updating Facebook statuses in the hope it'll get back to you. They will switch and switch and switch, and none of it will make sense because it's completely up and down and you don't know what's real. Okay, it's all a means of getting supply. It's all a means of getting something. Okay, so if you then get sucked back in and say, oh, I'm so glad you've seen the light, it doesn't mean anything to them. It just means they've got some attention. If you get angry at them and say, how dare you, and you get indignant, well, they're still happy. They've still got some attention. It doesn't mean anything. None of it means anything. None of it's real. It's a means of getting supply. It's like fighting for oxygen. How far would you go to fight for oxygen? If you were drowning, or you do anything, you grab anything, grab hold of anything, grab another person, whatever, you fight for your oxygen. Well, it's like that with a narcissist. They'll do what it takes, and they don't care how it offends you, hurts you, upsets you, confuses you. They cannot see other people's feelings and emotions as being relevant because it's nothing to do with them. All that motivates them is getting their needs met and their supply. Nobody else is relevant. Everyone else is a pawn in that game. Okay, so you need to be aware of this. Any attention is good attention for the narcissist. That's why they will try and say and do anything to get you back in. Okay, that's the first thing to be aware of. Any attention feeds their supply. The other two things you need to be aware of, there are another two reactions you're going to get from a narcissist by engaging with them, by trying to reason, by arguing, by asking them questions, by getting upset. Any response from you, any reaction will trigger either narcissistic, I've forgotten the word, injury, sorry, chemo brain. Narcissistic injury, which is the equivalent of a small child saying, how dare you, you're abusive, you've hurt me, when you say these things to me it really hurts, and who do you think you are, and they can switch to that in a heartbeat and then be abusive again the next minute. So that's what narcissistic injury looks like, when you get the message back that completely doesn't link in with anything else that's been said or done, where they're saying, you're actually really hurting me by messaging me back, and actually I'm really hurting about this, and I want you to leave me alone, and then a week later they will message you again, trying to get you back, or being abusive, or calling you names, or threatening you, or just complete nonsense. So that's what narcissistic injury looks like. Narcissistic rage is when you deny them what they want. You defy them, you deny them, you stand up for yourself, you say, how dare you, who do you think you are? You might even get a bit abusive, you might get angry, and you're probably well within your rights to do. But any defying of their needs or denying of their needs will trigger rage. Now, I would say from the experiences I've had over the years, and from what I've seen of other people and the many videos I've watched and the research I've done and the patterns I've studied, you probably want to avoid triggering rage, because at that point there's anything, they will do anything. They will lash out like a child, and they can actually do very dangerous things. Some narcissists can be violent. Thankfully, the ones I've known haven't been. They've been emotionally abusive, and things like using the police, calling out the police, the courts, that kind of thing. So they can do very nasty things to try and destroy your life and destroy you. They will tell lies, and they will do it in a heartbeat with no justification, with no accountability. So my advice, this is just my personal advice, it can feel very tempting. I have certainly felt tempted in the past to do something, to really speak up, with the full awareness that I will be triggering some anger in the other person. But it can have consequences which just feeds into the battle. It feeds into the engaging with each other. It feeds into, and it makes you feel worse because it keeps you engaged. So my advice would be, you want to avoid triggering the rage. The narcissistic injury, there's probably not much you can do about that, because it's just like a child having a tantrum going, oh, how dare you, you've hurt me. And they may have been hurting you for years, but as soon as you defy them, they will say, well, you're breaking my heart by saying this and you're hurting me. And it's like it comes out of the blue and it makes no sense, because they may be the one who's, say, been cheating on you, and then they're accusing you of doing that to them and making all kinds of accusations which have no grounding at all. Okay, so so just to sum up, the 3 things to be aware of. I want to try and keep these videos concise and focus on a different topic with every video, and I want to help people, because it is probably the hardest thing to come through and to come out of and to recover from and heal from. I mean, I'm a few years out of one relationship, and that took legal work to put a stop to that. And then I came out of another relationship with a narcissist, and I'm still, I've done a lot of healing, and I've got amazing people around me, and there's a lot of information and help and support out there. And the key thing is you've got to get back to you, and you've got to know how to heal yourself and know who you are and find your strength again and your core, so that these people can't get in. So just to sum up, 3 things to be aware of. You may think you can reason, I can be logical, I can reason with him, I can make him or her see what they've done to me, I can make him or her realise how much they've hurt me or they're hurting other people. You cannot. They cannot change. They cannot be fixed. There's nothing that you can say or do to give them an epiphany, because it's deep-seated, it's their disorder. They will bat it back, they will project onto you anything so that they don't have to face up to their flaws or have to change anything about themselves. They will project it. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say. You can't be any more perfect. You can't change yourself. But they will certainly batter you down and watch you keep trying to better yourself and blame yourself for everything. Okay, they cannot be fixed, so you have to be the one to walk away. You have to be the one to realise what is going on, see it clearly, spot the patterns, and walk away, and then heal yourself. You cannot be in denial about what you've gone through, and you have to heal yourself, and it can take some time. Okay, you want to replace that personality with some very good personalities, with healthy, functional, honest, open people who are capable of giving love and receiving love. You have to get that into your life, and you have to start healing yourself. So anyway, I'll stop the video there. Really hope this has helped somebody. I'm very passionate about this subject. I've experienced it twice with 2 long-term relationships, and it doesn't matter how vulnerable you are, how strong you are. The strongest people can. I've seen the strongest people, the most attractive, wonderful, loving people, have their self-esteem battered down into the ground after coming out of relationships with people like this. And these people do not stop. They are emotional vampires. They will suck people dry, and they'll make you happily stand there and say, yes, it's all my fault, I'm the bad one, I'm the awful one, and they have no accountability. Okay, so if I can help a few people with these videos and shed a bit of light on narcissism, then I'll keep making these videos. So hope you've enjoyed. Please share with anyone this might help. You might go, this will help a friend, family member. Please like, please subscribe, and I hope this has been nice and clear. If you've got any questions, any comments, if you want more videos made on other aspects of narcissism, please do leave a comment. I do read the comments, so thank you. And I will see you soon in another video, and hope you're all fantastic and happy. I'll see you all soon. Ciao for now.